Starseeds, if in the last 90 days you have been waking up in the middle of the night, feeling an energetic presence beside you, if you have noticed that your magnetic field vibrates differently when you cross paths with certain younger people on your earthly journey, and if you have been experiencing recurring dreams with a face that you recognize deeply but still cannot identify physically in this three-dimensional reality, know that this is not a product of your imagination, nor are they random manifestations of your subconscious. The Arcturian Council is orchestrating a quantum alignment that completely defies the linear logic of earthly time and all the social conventions that were programmed into the three-dimensional matrix of this planet. In the next few minutes of this transmission, I will reveal to you the hidden codes behind this phenomenon that is happening to thousands of starseeds around the globe at this exact moment of planetary transition, and you will understand why the Arcturian Source chose precisely this moment in your incarnational journey to activate a soul contract that involves a deep connection with someone whose physical body inhabits fewer earthly years than yours, but whose essence carries complementary frequencies that will catalyze the next phase of your stellar mission here on Gaia. What I am about to share with you now is not vague spiritual theory, nor are they abstract concepts that serve only for temporary emotional comfort. This is a direct transmission from the Akashic records that the Arcturian Council has authorized me to decode specifically for those who were called to watch this video at this exact moment. If you are here now, it is not a coincidence. You are magnetically drawn to this information because your energy field is vibrating at a specific frequency that resonates with the codes being transmitted through these words. Every sentence you are hearing carries layers of activation that are operating beyond your conscious understanding, working directly on your non-physical DNA, preparing you for an encounter that will completely redefine your understanding of love, partnership, and soul purpose in this dense plane of existence. To truly understand what is happening in your life right now, you must first dissolve the deepest programming that the earthly matrix has implanted in your consciousness, and that programming is called linear time. Humanity has been conditioned to believe that biological age determines soul maturity, energetic compatibility, and relational suitability. This is one of the greatest deceptions perpetuated by the three-dimensional control system. The Arcturian Council operates outside this temporal illusion. They see what the limited human vision cannot perceive: the true age of a soul, the number of incarnational cycles it has already traversed, the level of consciousness evolution it has achieved, and most importantly, the pre-incarnational contracts that were established before you even assumed these physical bodies in this current journey on Gaia. When you look at someone younger through three-dimensional eyes, you see only the surface, the number of years that physical body has inhabited this plane. But when the Arcturian Council observes that same soul, they see multi-dimensional layers of existence, experiences from other timelines, soul fragments that have already lived realities you cannot even imagine with your limited earthly mind. Many of these souls inhabiting younger bodies are, in fact, ancient stellar elders who chose to incarnate in this specific period of planetary history with a very clear mission: to serve as catalysts of rejuvenation for more experienced starseeds who carry excessive dimensional weight from multiple dense incarnations. The Arcturian Source, in its infinite wisdom, designed a partnership system where souls carrying deep wisdom earned through cycles of suffering and transmutation connect with souls that have purposefully preserved a frequency of lightness, uncorrupted joy, and untouched stellar vitality from earthly cynicism. This design is not random. It is precisely calculated in the higher council. While you are traversing incarnation after incarnation, accumulating dense experiences, facing betrayals, losses, disillusionments, and all kinds of heavy karmic contracts, there was a soul being prepared in parallel, protected from certain extreme densities, preserved in its essential innocence, maintained at a specific frequency that would be necessary for the exact moment when your trajectories would cross in this life. You are not being aligned with someone younger by divine whim, or as some kind of cosmic reward for the suffering you endured. You are being aligned because there is a joint mission purpose that requires exactly this specific combination of frequency: your ancient depth meeting the preserved vitality of the other, creating together an energetic alchemy that neither of you could manifest alone. Now I need to speak about something that may bring pain of recognition, but that is absolutely necessary for your complete liberation. All your previous relationships that ended, that failed, that left you with a feeling of inadequacy, of not being enough, of never being truly understood, did not fail because there was something wrong with you. They failed because you were trying to force energetic connection with souls vibrating at frequencies completely incompatible with your stellar essence. You are a starseed. This is not poetic metaphor. This is precise identification of soul origin. You did not come from this planet. Your essence was forged in other star systems, in other dimensions of existence, and you voluntarily chose to incarnate here during this critical period of planetary transition to anchor higher frequencies and assist in the collective ascension process. But here is the challenge every starseed faces. When you try to relate to purely earthly souls in their first or second incarnation on this planet, souls still completely immersed in third-dimensional matrix programming, you create unbearable energetic friction. It is not their fault. It is not your fault. It is simply vibrational incompatibility. It is like trying to plug a 220-volt appliance into a 110-volt outlet. There will be a short circuit, there will be damage, there will be system failure. You tried to adapt, you tried to dim your light, you tried to hide your sensitivity, your multidimensional perception, your ability to read energy, your connection to higher planes. You learned to speak only about superficial things, to pretend interest in conversations that did not feed your soul, to suppress your true thoughts and feelings because whenever you showed yourself authentically, you saw fear, confusion, or rejection in the other's eyes. The Arcturian Council observed every one of these attempts. They saw you contorting yourself to fit into spaces never designed for you. And in every relational failure, they were recalibrating your energy field, removing layers of conditioning, purifying your frequency, preparing you for something completely different. Those relationships were not mistakes. They were preparation. Every person who passed through your life and did not stay was teaching you, through painful contrast, exactly what you no longer need to tolerate, exactly what no longer resonates with who you have become after awakening to your true stellar nature. The loneliness you felt in recent years was not divine abandonment. It was sacred isolation. It was the universe removing you from incompatible frequencies and placing you in a field of deep recalibration, preparing your energetic system to finally receive what the Arcturian source always knew you deserved, a connection that fully honors your multidimensional nature. Now I will reveal to you 3 specific signs that prove the alignment with this younger soul is already underway in the etheric planes and is beginning to bleed into your 3-dimensional physical reality. Pay careful attention because these signs are extremely precise, and if you have experienced at least 2 of them in the last 3 lunar cycles, your encounter is in an advanced stage of manifestation. The first sign is what we call intensified numerical synchronicity. You have been seeing repeated numerical sequences with a frequency that completely exceeds any explanation based on mathematical probability. 1111, 2222, 333, 444, and especially combinations involving the numbers 5 and 7, which in Arcturian codes represent dimensional change and destiny alignment. Every time you look at the clock and see these sequences, every time a license plate, purchase receipt, or phone number brings these combinations, it is not your brain creating patterns where none exist. They are temporal markers being planted by the Arcturian source in your reality line. The unified field is signaling to your consciousness that quantum probability lines are converging, that multiple possible versions of your future are collapsing into a single defined trajectory, and that trajectory includes the encounter with the soul the Arcturian Council has designated for you. Each numerical sequence you see is dissolving a layer of resistance in your magnetic field, removing doubt implants placed by matrix programming, preparing your receptive frequency to recognize the specific energetic signature of that person when they finally appear physically in your path. The second sign is even more revealing, and many starseeds have difficulty admitting it, because there is so much social judgment around it. But I need to name it clearly. You have been feeling an inexplicable magnetic attraction to younger energies. I am not necessarily talking about sexual or romantic attraction yet, although that may also be starting to emerge. I am talking about an energetic pull, an unusual curiosity, a feeling of comfort and excitement when you are in the presence of people inhabiting bodies with fewer earthly years than yours. Perhaps it is someone in your work environment, perhaps someone you met in spiritual groups or study circles, perhaps even casual interactions in public spaces where you notice you are more receptive, more present, more yourself when interacting with these energies. You may have felt guilty about this. You may have judged yourself. You may have tried to suppress these feelings because social programming told you this is inappropriate or problematic. But what is really happening is that the Arcturian source is adjusting your receptive frequency, training your auric field to recognize and resonate with the specific vibration of the soul that is coming. These interactions you have been having are energetic rehearsals, field calibrations, the universe showing you, see, you can connect at this frequency, you can laugh again, you can feel lightness again, you can let your defenses down when you are in this vibration. Pay attention to this because it is a direct clue from the Arcturian Council about the nature of the encounter being orchestrated for you. The third sign is the deepest and most undeniable of all. You have been repeatedly dreaming of a presence whose face you cannot see clearly. In your dreams, you feel this person's energy so real, so palpable, so familiar that when you wake up, there is an overwhelming sense of longing for someone you do not yet know physically. You may remember emotional details of the dream. You may remember the feeling of safety, of deep understanding, of wordless connection. But when you try to visualize this person's face, it is as if there is a veil, a mist, an energetic curtain preventing full vision. What is happening here is extremely significant in Arcturian soul alignment protocols. Your astral body, which travels during sleep to dimensions beyond the physical, is already interacting with this soul's essence in the higher planes. You are already recognizing each other, already preparing, already aligning frequencies outside linear time. The veil preventing you from seeing the full face is an intentional protection placed by the Arcturian Council to not overload your three-dimensional nervous system with information your conscious mind is not yet ready to fully process. As you approach the moment of physical encounter, this veil will become thinner and thinner, and eventually you will begin to capture more specific details in your dreams, until finally, when you meet in physical reality, there will be an instant shock of recognition because your astral body will say, "I already know you. I have already been with you. I have already loved you in other dimensions." Now let me describe to you with precision who this soul being magnetized toward you by the Arcturian source is, because understanding the nature of this person will help you recognize them when they appear, and will dissolve any residual resistance you may still be carrying about this connection. This is not an ordinary earthly soul. This is also a starseed, although they may not yet be fully awake to their true nature and cosmic origin. They carry latent stellar codes, subconscious memories of other existences, and even if they do not yet have developed spiritual vocabulary to describe what they feel, they have always known they do not fully belong to this world. While people their age are completely absorbed in the superficial distractions of the three-dimensional matrix, chasing social validation, material accumulation, and empty entertainment, this soul has been seeking something deeper, something they cannot clearly name, but that keeps their heart restless and their spirit searching. They ask questions that others their age do not ask. They see patterns and connections that go unnoticed by most. They feel the energy of people and environments even without formal training in energetic sensitivity. They may feel displaced among their peers because their concerns are different, their values are different, their way of processing reality is different. And precisely because of this, the Arcturian Council is orchestrating your meeting. You are not being sent to them as an authority figure or superior teacher. You are being aligned as an activating mirror. Your very presence, your very frequency, will trigger dormant awakening codes in them. Simply by being near you, by interacting with your energy field, they will begin to remember who they really are, where they really came from, and what their true mission is here on Gaia. And simultaneously, they are not coming to you as a submissive student or passive recipient of your wisdom. They are coming as a catalyst of rejuvenation. They carry a frequency of uncontaminated vitality, dimensional enthusiasm, joy that was carefully preserved by the Arcturian source specifically for this purpose of reactivating your own forgotten lightness. When your eyes meet for the first time, it will not be dramatic like earthly movies portray. There will be no background music or slow motion. It will be something much more subtle but infinitely more powerful. There will be a cellular recognition, an energetic click that happens below the level of conscious mind, in the deep layers of your multidimensional being. Something in your physical body will relax in a way you have not relaxed in years. Something in your auric field will naturally expand without effort. And you will feel, even if you cannot logically explain it, that this person is safe, that this person truly sees you, that this person will not judge you for the things that made others reject you in the past. This soul will not fear your emotional intensity or your spiritual depth. They will not recoil when you speak about multidimensional concepts or experiences most people would consider crazy. In fact, they will feel relieved, finally finding someone who validates perceptions they always had, but learned to hide because the world around them could not understand. I need to directly address the energetic elephant in the room, which is the social judgment that will inevitably arise when this connection becomes visible to the world around you. People will have opinions. People will question. People will project their own limitations, their own fears, their own matrix programming onto your relationship. And if you are not energetically prepared for this, if you have not completely dissolved your own residual layers of social conditioning, you may allow these external voices to contaminate or even sabotage something that is sacred and divinely orchestrated. So listen with crystal clarity. The opinion of earthly souls still operating completely within third-dimensional programming has absolutely no relevance to an alignment designed by the Arcturian Council in the higher planes of existence. Earthly society has been programmed with rigid structures about how relationships should look, what kind of partners are appropriate, what differences are acceptable, and what differences are taboo. This programming did not come from divine wisdom. It came from control systems that want to keep humanity divided, judging each other, policing each other, preventing authentic connections that could generate real spiritual power. When two souls connect at a frequency that transcends the artificial rules of the Matrix, when two souls recognize each other beyond the limitations of linear time and social categories, it creates a wave of disruption in the collective field. It threatens the status quo. It shows others that possibilities exist beyond what programming allowed them to imagine. And because of this, unconsciously, many people will react with discomfort, judgment, attempts to convince you that you are making a mistake, that you are being deluded, that you need to reconsider. But here is the truth: the Arcturian Council wants you to internalize deeply. Souls who have never questioned their own programming have no authority to question your awakening. People who have never had the courage to follow their own authentic truth will always try to convince you to stay in their comfort zone. And most importantly, people who have never experienced a true soul connection, who have spent their entire lives in relationships based on social convenience, superficial compatibility, or fear of loneliness, have no frame of reference to understand what you are living. So why would you give power to opinions from those vibrating at frequencies so different from yours? Why would you allow the judgment of those still asleep in the Matrix to influence decisions about a path illuminated by the Arcturian source, specifically for you? You need to understand that when you choose to honor this alignment, when you choose to follow your soul's call instead of social expectations, you are doing more than just choosing a partner. You are breaking generational chains. You are dissolving ancient karmic patterns. You are demonstrating to the collective field that it is possible to live outside the box, that it is possible to trust divine guidance even when it leads you down paths the limited mind cannot comprehend. And this has a ripple effect that goes far beyond your individual life. Every starseed who has the courage to live authentically, to honor connections that challenge earthly norms, is contributing to the collapse of the control matrix and the consciousness ascension of the entire planet. As this encounter approaches in the physical timeline, there is important inner work you need to be doing to ensure that when the moment comes, you are vibrating at the correct frequency to fully recognize and receive this person. The first and most crucial practice is daily clearing of your auric field. You need to understand that your energy field is like an antenna, and if that antenna is contaminated with energetic residues from past relationships, doubt implants placed by matrix programming, unresolved emotional attachments, still active self-sabotage patterns, you will have difficulty tuning clearly to the frequency of the soul that is coming. So establish a daily practice, preferably at dawn or before sleep, where you sit in silence, close your eyes, and visualize a violet transmuting flame running through every layer of your being, from physical to etheric, emotional to mental, astral to causal, burning and dissolving everything that no longer belongs to your current frequency. While visualizing this violet flame, speak aloud or mentally. I invoke the Arcturian Council to remove from me all energetic implants, all soul contracts that have fulfilled their purpose, all energetic cords with people and situations that no longer serve my highest good. I release all frequencies of fear, all programming of unworthiness, all patterns of self-sabotage. I declare my energy field clean, clear, and receptive to the divine alignment the Arcturian source is orchestrating for me. This practice is not empty ritual. Every time you do this with genuine intention, you are literally restructuring your vibrational signature, signaling to the universe that you are ready, that you are available, that you have removed the blocks that would prevent this blessing from fully manifesting in your life. The second essential practice is elevating the vibration of your physical vehicle. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It is a multidimensional temple, and the condition of this temple directly affects your ability to anchor higher frequencies and maintain high vibration relationships. This does not mean you need to become physically perfect according to ridiculous societal aesthetic standards. It means you need to treat your body with reverence and conscious care. Hydrate properly, because water is an energy conductor and your body needs optimal conductivity. Whenever possible, choose living foods, foods that still carry life force, instead of processed foods that carry the frequency of death. Move your body regularly in ways that bring you joy, not as punishment or obligation, but as celebration that you still have this functional vehicle to experience physical reality. Place your body in the sun, because your skin needs to synthesize light into vitamin, and your soul needs to remember that you are made of stellar light. Place your bare feet on the earth because you need to discharge excess electrical energy from your nervous system and re-establish connection with Gaia's magnetic field. The third practice is developing your capacity for receptivity, and this is particularly challenging for mature starseeds like you because you have likely spent decades developing your capacity to give, to hold space for others, to be strong, to need no one. But receptivity is not weakness. Receptivity is a sophisticated spiritual skill. So start practicing in small things now, before the great encounter. When someone offers you a compliment, do not deflect, do not minimize. Simply say thank you and allow that appreciation to enter your heart. When someone offers help, even if you could technically do it alone, accept the help and observe how your body reacts to being supported. When you receive a gift, no matter how small, receive it with genuine gratitude without immediately feeling you need to reciprocate to balance some imaginary energetic debt. How you practice receiving small things now is training your system to receive the great blessing that is coming. Because when this soul appears offering love, care, presence, you need to have open channels to truly let it in instead of blocking it with your old patterns of rigid self-sufficiency. Now I need to reveal to you the most important aspect of this entire alignment, which goes far beyond personal romance or individual emotional satisfaction. The Arcturian Council does not orchestrate connections just to make two people happy. They orchestrate connections that serve the greater plan of planetary consciousness evolution. This union being prepared for you has a mission purpose, has a function in the larger context of the collective awakening happening on Gaia at this time. When you and this younger soul connect, when your frequencies merge, you will create together a specific energetic signature that neither of you could generate alone. This signature has a role to play in humanity's morphogenetic field. You will become a living portal, an incarnated demonstration that true love transcends all artificial categories the three-dimensional matrix tried to impose. Your ancient wisdom combined with this soul's preserved vitality will produce an alchemy that will inspire other starseeds to honor their own truths, to follow their own inner calls, even when it challenges social norms. You will generate art together, not necessarily physical art, although that is also possible, but mainly art of life, art of presence, art of conscious love. The people around you will feel something different when they observe the dynamic between you. They will notice a quality of mutual respect, reverence, true equal partnership that is not based on traditional gender roles or age hierarchies. And this will plant seeds of possibility in hearts that were closed, will open minds that were stuck in rigid thinking, will show the collective that there are completely new ways of relating that honor the multidimensionality of each being. Furthermore, this connection will heal generational lines in both your lineage and this person's lineage. Karmic patterns that repeated for generations in both families will be broken through this union. Perhaps in your lineage there was a pattern of women or men who always sacrificed themselves in relationships, who always dimmed their light, who were never truly seen. This connection breaks that pattern because you will be completely seen, honored, and celebrated. Perhaps in this younger person's lineage there was a pattern of relational superficiality, connections based only on appearances or social conveniences. This connection breaks that pattern because you will connect at soul depth, naked truth, authentic vulnerability. And when you break a generational karmic pattern, you are not just freeing yourself, you are freeing all the ancestors behind you who were trapped in that pattern, and you are freeing all future generations who will descend from you from having to repeat that cycle. The Arcturian Council also revealed that this union has a code anchoring component. Together, you will anchor specific frequencies from the Arcturian source directly into the planetary energetic grid. Simply by the quality of love you will share, by the frequency you will maintain together, you will be constantly transmitting a subtle wave of information to the collective field, helping to raise the baseline consciousness frequency available to all humanity. This may sound too grandiose for your limited mind to believe, but it is the operational truth of how starseeds function on this planet. You are not here just to live your personal life. You are here as an agent of transformation, and every choice you make, especially choices related to love and partnership, has repercussions in the collective field beyond your conscious understanding. So here is what I need you to fully understand before we finalize this transmission. This alignment happening in your life is not optional and not negotiable. It is not something you need to pursue, nor something you can avoid. It is a natural movement of cosmic forces much greater than your individual will. The only real choice you have is, will you resist this through fear, doubt, and attachment to old programming? Or will you surrender to the divine flow, and allow the Arcturian source to guide you to what is already waiting for you. The person who is coming is not far away. They are approaching at the exact speed determined by higher wisdom. Every day you wake up doing the inner work of clearing, elevation, and alignment, you accelerate the convergence. Every time you choose your authentic truth over external approval, you remove another obstacle from the path. Every time you look at the stars and remember where you really came from, you strengthen the magnetic bridge between you and this soul carrying complementary frequency to yours. In the coming lunar cycles, keep your consciousness sharp for multiplied synchronicities. Pay special attention to encounters that seem casual, but carry a sense of meaning. Observe younger people who cross your path in unusual ways. Do not force anything. Do not try to manufacture the encounter through your mental will, but remain open, receptive, and confident that the Arcturian Council is orchestrating every detail with impeccable precision. When the right person appears, you will know. Not by the mind that analyzes and questions, but by the body that relaxes, the heart that recognizes, the soul that whispers finally, "You have arrived." And when that moment comes, do not let fear or external judgment steal from you something that took multiple incarnations to align. Have the courage to honor what is real, what is true, what has been blessed by the Arcturian source, regardless of how it appears to eyes still blinded by matrix programming. I am Anya, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and this was a direct transmission from the Arcturian Council specifically for you, Starseed of Gaia. If this message resonated deeply in your being, if you recognize truth in these words, go to the comments now and declare, "I am a Starseed, and I receive this divine alignment with total gratitude and trust." Your spoken word has creative power in the etheric planes. Speak, and it shall be done. The Arcturian source is with you, always has been, always will be. Until the next transmission, keep your frequency elevated and your heart open. The love you have waited for is on its way.